I'll tell you that that's something that revolutionized me. We are a blended family. When I met my husband, he was raising his kiddos, and I helped him raise our big kids. And then we had two more together, Kennedy and Preston. So we just have those two left here. And my first, so I'm a bonus mom, and then I had a daughter, Kennedy. She's 16, and man. And I love her. She's beautiful, wonderful. That's my daughter. And Lord Jesus, you think you're in love, right? You get married, walk down the aisle. You think you're in love with that man. And then you have his son. And then you look at his son and be like, oh, so this is what love feels like.
Right.
And I thought I was in love with him, but then I had his son, and I was like, oh God, this is my heart.
Yeah.
And what revolutionized my life and my marriage is this. I have, if you know me, then you know I got a little red boy named Preston, and I love him. Just turned 15, girl.
I know.
But what the Lord gave me was, we know how, as moms, we know how we are about our sons. Like, that boy is 15, and sometimes he'll come in my room and just lay on top of me. At this point, he is now longer than me. He just lay there, no matter what he asked me to do. If he get up and say, Mommy, can you bake me some cookies, Mommy? His feet are longer than mine, his hands. Mommy, can you bake me some? I don't care what time it is. I'm up late at night doing whatever because that's my baby, But the Lord gave me this word. He said, my husband had made me angry, and I was saying harsh things. Mm-hmm. And the Lord gave me a word. He said, I want you to give him as much grace as you give your son. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you wouldn't break your son, don't you break your husband.
Yeah. Yes.
As much as no matter what Preston does, I'm like, oh, baby, it's okay. Like, you give that same grace as you give your 24-year-old son living in your house with no job.
Yeah. Yes. I think we got the same revelation.
You give your husband that same grace that you give to the son that you birthed, so your love for him knows no bounds.
Right.
Your love, your love for him he's connected, and so there's nothing you do. And so that is what changed. Yeah. It changed my marriage so that if I wouldn't say it to Preston, now some of y'all so hateful, you even break your sons, and God be with you. But I'm talking to us mamas who love,
Right.
We have to give our husband that same grace. Wait a minute. And then some, because one day Preston is going to leave and clean to some woman.
Yes.
And you know who's going to be left with me?
Mm-hmm. Right.
How dare I not show him?
I'm still here.
Right.
How dare I go to church and be nicer to sister so-and-so than I am to him? You know what that makes me? That makes me a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. If I can go to church and be kind to God's people and come here and be rude to him, I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they don't know her.
They don't know.
And we have a saying. Mm-hmm. We will never be more kind
to someone
else
than we are.
Doesn't know
all of our kinks
and ugly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And still love us. No, we're gonna be kind to each other. And I'll tell you, the thing that I feel like has saved us a lot of times is we don't just, people say things, of course you know our profession, and you get over the pulpit and you just go, hey man, giving honor to God, I just want to thank God for my wife. Stand up, baby.
Strawberry dream.
My cheeseburger.
Honey in my tea and my syrup. I wish I had a biscuit. I pour syrup on it and sop her up and all that other, just anything.
And had sex in 3 years. Y'all stop lying.
And the truth, the entire truth. We can log off at this point now.
Looks angry. She ain't been.
Listen, she's strong in the face.
By the way she looking, she ain't been touched.
How she knocking the people down at the altar? That baby got she need a session.
My thing here is,
baby ain't been touched.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now by the reason.
When we say we're best friends, there have been times, and every marriage, we've been married going on 18 years this year.
Man, this year be 18 years. We've grown in our marriage now.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations.
And so, but they're you know, especially in the early stages of a marriage, that first 5 to 7 years, those are the settling years. And there were times where it was hard to settle. And what we did
We were unsettled.
was we decided, we literally said out of our mouth, because when we got married, we cut a lot of things. We cut people off, and when I say we
protected our covenant.
We protected our covenant, and
it's so important.
She is my best friend, and
we're family.
And when we were like, well, you know, if we got divorced, who's gonna be my best friend?
Right.
I can't lose my best friend.
You better build that friendship.
Like I talk to you. Like I tell you my secrets. I tell you
all
things, you know.
The you know what, for us, what's been helpful besides finding a solid couple for mentorship. We've had couples for mentorship.
Yes.
But yes, sometimes, man, that marriage relationship will be rocky. But if you can strengthen that friendship, that friendship will coast you through those times when that marriage, that romantic marriage relationship is rocky. But if you can find your way to a genuine friendship, and it doesn't always come easy, you have to find your way to a friendship. Find your way to a genuine marriage friendship. It will save your marriage in those times where it is rocky. But we have found that friendship, and the Lord has been faithful to us through it.
Lady Lizzie, we have literally had to look at each other. She's done it, I've done it, and say, look, I don't have another best friend. And this is something that I would usually go talk to one of my guy friends about, tell them how angry you've made me.
Right.
But since I don't have a best friend,
I'm going to tell you,
you're going to have to be my homeboy right now.
Yes.
And so I've looked at her. She's done the same thing. I looked at her and told her, man, you tripping.
Right.
You did this and that, and wait, watch this now. And I don't need you to act like my wife while I'm telling you. I need you to act like my best friend.
I can. That shit crazy. Why are you marrying her?
Yeah, you know, like, talk back to me. You know.
I thought we was the only ones. I thought we were the only. There'll be times I come to him. I was like, I don't really need to talk to my pastor. And I don't need my husband to tell my boyfriend. I need to talk to my friend.
Listen.
Exactly.
We say that sometimes. I need to talk.
I'm gonna need that right now. And that friendship is amazing. Sometimes there are times like we still talk all day.
Oh, we do.
All day.
Text.
We still be on the phone breathing hard still. I know he's coming to get me. It's like, oh, my husband coming. My stomach get little butterflies. And I just was like, he come. He's like, listen, the girls at my job be like, oh, here come your husband. I'm like, here come my husband. I mean, still 23 years later. He's my friend. With anything that happens, I'm on the phone, babe. Guess what? Because he's my place. Mm-hmm. You said something earlier, and I was sharing, we pretty much, the Lord began to tell me the same thing. The Lord told me, he said, the same grace I give you, and you know you, is what you have to give him. Mm-hmm. And so we came up out of one of, what do you call it? What kind of
negotiation?
A negotiation.
An
aggressive negotiation. And I think we walked away from one of those conversations, and we have, to this day, we'll say to each other, you're not my enemy.
Absolutely.
You are not my enemy. And I'll be honest, you talked about those settling years. Those were some difficult times for me, because unfortunately, we got married. I mean, I'd only been 21, maybe 5 months, right? So there was no therapist. And because his background, I'll never forget, we had this conversation. We had this, what was our basement? We had this basement apartment, and
2 bedrooms.
It was 2 bedrooms, but it probably shouldn't have been an apartment, but they converted it into an apartment. And it had turquoise carpet. We had an orange recliner chair. He paid the rent though. It was colorful, right? And I treated that 2-bedroom basement apartment like it was our current home. But I remember before we got married, I had to, if I'm gonna marry you, you're not gonna marry a mystery. Mm-hmm. This is who I am. Mm-hmm. And somehow, we were sitting on the floor, and the Lord had showed him, and he just kind of asked me one question, and I just, look, this is what you're getting, right? This is who I am. And I began to cry, but I began to thank God. I was like, who else would you reveal that to than the one that's going to cover me for the rest of our time together? And so oftentimes when we're in those heated conversations, my mind refers back to that moment that he was gentle, he was kind, he was a protector, but he also did something in that moment. He began to say, hey, you can't live that low. You can't continue to, you're so much better than that. You're so much bigger than that. And so my husband, he began to be my pusher. He pushed me into all that you see now. He loved me. He wooed me into that. He told me, baby, you can do it. You got it. Listen, there are times I have some college degrees I didn't even want, but because he was like, oh no, you going to school. Oh yes, you are. You gonna write you know how many times I quit my graduate program? He was like, oh no, you. He saw, awesome. My friend, my husband said, I'm in here. It's me and you. It's you and I against the world. And we instead of turning our backs to each other, we've always turned face to face.
But also, even with that, most people don't understand, or some people ask the question, well, how did y'all get here? And I always go all the way back to the very beginning, because
fried chicken and spaghetti.
Because I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew exactly what I wanted. And I knew that there was going to have to be some work put in on my behalf to get what I wanted. Aside from what people said, aside from people trying to turn you against it or offering you something that they thought was better or befitting. I knew what I wanted, and I had to keep going after it. And it wasn't easy. Because
I would say I'm a peak. I know. I know. But even in all of that personality, because I loved him and because of his personality, I was careful. I had wisdom. There were some things that I never, ever wanted. I never wanted my husband to be the husband that drove home after helping all the public and helping all of the people at the church, and to sit in the driveway and have to put on just to come in the house. Like, I got to come on here. She's so contentious. Food, I'm not eating today, I guess. I better pick up something on the way. Or the house is nasty and the kids got snot coming out their nose. And, it's when I walk in there, she's about to just, I wanted him to always want to come home. Right. So I was intentional about creating a place for Mike, not the bishop.
Right.
The bishop, you can go to the church, but Mike.
Yeah.
I wanted my husband to walk. If you never pick up a Bible in this house, that's okay. Mm-hmm. I've read the tablets on your heart. It's totally fine. You don't have to impress me. I'm not looking to join your house church.
Right.
But I want you.
Yeah.
I want you to okay, don't pick up your shoes. This is his house. Mm-hmm. I wanted everything. I wanted him to walk in here and say, I like it here, right? Mm-hmm. I remember one particular time he, y'all know how y'all get, he was going to service and to support. And he had said it was going to be family night. And I look up, But before I looked up, I could smell him before he even came into the kitchen. And I was in the kitchen cooking, and I was like, he smelled like church. He about to go to church.
That's
even
church
cologne.
That's
church
cologne, right?
As our baby boy would say, it's strong. He said, what he say? He said, strong and deep. Our 8-year-old, he's now in the cologne, and he'll tell you, I need church cologne. It's strong and deep. And I'm in the kitchen, and he's got his coat on and his hat, and he was like, yeah, I'm about to go over here to such and such church. And everything on the inside of me is like, burn the peas, because he said he was going to stay here and we were going to do family. And I said nothing. I said, okay. And I just kept on cooking. And the kids was watching Daddy go out the door. I said, Daddy will be back. I just kept on cooking. I didn't say a word. I just kept on cooking. About 45 minutes later, the door opened. And I'm shocked. I'm like, what you doing back? He was like, I was sitting in that church, and I was thinking about my wife in that kitchen and cooking. And I threw that offering on the table, and I came home. And I said, oh, you did? Oh, okay. And I walked out the room. I was like, you a bad girl. You a bad girl. You a bad girl.
Bishop, you know how you walk out, you put the offering on the table?
Uh-huh.
Gotta go home.
Gotta go home. Gotta go home.
Yes.
Can I say this? I feel so strongly when it comes down to things like that and us covering each other and being there for each other. I feel so strongly about it until you would never know, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. You would never know her weakness because the Bible calls us one. So where she's weak, I'm strong.
Yes.
Which means she has no weakness.
Right.
Because we're one.
Right.
So and she treats me the same way. Where I am, when it comes down to, I've been graced to make a lot of
Don't you tell these people what your weaknesses are.
My weaknesses. I've been graced to make have a lot of accomplishments in corporate America outside of church, in the business area, and you know, when I'm in church, you know, I'm the bishop, and I can talk, it just flows out. I know exactly what to say, and it's like, you know, Sade, smooth operator.
You have excellent.
And it just, you know, but when I would she had to help me because I had the skill set and the intellect. But when I would go to my business meetings, I would freeze up. I almost started using her as a crutch, like, come with me. You know, because it seemed like she knew how to talk to people who were not Christians, but still in places of power. And she knew how, but it took her building me up and telling me, hey, you belong at the table.
Yeah.
Right? You belong at the table. Absolutely. This is where you belong. This is who you are. Absolutely. This is what, you know. And so now I go into meetings. I was at one Monday. I go into meetings. Doesn't matter who's there, what there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I am George Wardlaw, and I belong at the table.
And you belong at the table.
And I belong at the table.
And you belong at the table.
And that came from her for 2 years. Every single day, she told me I was great.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 years, every single day. She said,
love that.
You're great. You're going to be great. I was looking at other preachers on the TV, and I was like, man, you know, they're doing this, that, and the other. And I actually love God people.
Yes.
I actually not running over them, and I'm not stealing or anything like that, you know. And man, I just, you know, and they look like they're booming. And I'm telling the truth. I'm preaching the gospel, the truth, and
the truth,
and
entire.
Look at what's going on, you know. And she would tell me, "You're great. Don't look at." One time, she just turned the TV off. She said, "You don't have to do that." And I think that was so long ago,
many moons,
many moons ago,
very many pounds ago.
And I had my own show on the Word Network. Was it year before last?
Yeah,
but that was her. She told me. She said, "You go." She said, "You'll do it. You'll be on TV. You'll do all those things." She said, "Because you're great," and she had to keep putting that in me until, watch this, I begin to believe it.
Believe it.
Because she believed it.
Right.
And this is my best friend and my wife.
Yes.
And if he believes I'm great, then it has to be true.
It has to be true. Yeah. Right.
It
has to be.
Is.
Yeah.
Is.
For
I
sure.
love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. Look, you guys, I know our time is so far spent. This is, y'all know we could talk forever.
We can.
This is good. Let me ask this. How important is it that for those, and I'm put it out here because of who we are, how important is it for us to make time outside of church just for us? How important how do you rank that? Like, is that necessary, or is that, something that we get to it? How important is it?
My husband, I think
I'll let you go.
No. I think that you should answer this question. So I'm going to acquiesce to you, but I will say this though, before you delve into this, because I think that this question is tailor-made for you. I will say that I am his bride. I am the flesh of his flesh, the bone of his bone. The church already has a groom. Right? That bride belongs to someone else. That is not his bride.
Yeah.
And I am not playing second fiddle to any other bride.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm called to.
Right.
And I'm thankful that he has not put me in the position to have to play second fiddle to another bride, but that's Christ's bride. I am the bride that Christ gave him.
Right.
I'm the bride that the Lord gave him. And the church, she belongs to the Lord.
Yes.
So, okay.
I will.
From there.
I will. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Y'all come back now.
How you gonna start this up? Let me tell you something. Today.
Engagement canceled. I will. When it comes down to her right here, and this is why.
Yeah.
Because when God saw man was alone, he made him a woman. And that man did not pay for the woman.
Right.
That she is a gift.
Yes. Yes.
And if she is the gift, then I have to treat her
as such.
Like she's a gift, and not just any gift, a gift from the God of the universe. She is a gift from Adonai, Yahweh. She is a gift from God. And if she's a gift from God, then that's the way I'm going to treat her. She is my first ministry.
Yes.
I don't do that like, we drove up in the churchyard arguing, then I get up and, fake it out and preach and stuff. No, it's when I get up, she is my witness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is my witness. I live it at the house, just like I'm saying it at the church. She is my witness that if nobody stands up, she stands up, walks up to me while I'm preaching and go, preach, babe. This is my gift. And so when it comes time, or if you're talking about making time for her compared to making time for the church will never learn how Christ and his bride should interact. If I don't make time for her. Like Christ make time for his bride.
For sure.
So the Bible says, husband, love your wife as Christ has loved the church, in that he gave his life for it. Well, what does that mean? And while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us, which means God says, I want you to treat her the best, even when she's at her worst.
Yes.
Wow. And I get there.
And so my thing is, like, I will make time. I've had people who wanted me, to come, and it was a no, because because I needed to make time for what I promised her, or what I gave her, which are my kids.
Right.
And they needed time,
right?
And she loves them,
right?
And I love them, so I made time for them and said, "Okay, I'm sorry, I can't be there."
Oh no,
yes,
he has turned down ministry assignments because it's my son's this at school, and I promised that I would be there, and so that's the level of priority. At the end of the day, George and I, we both feel very strongly. I feel this very strongly. At the end of the day, my life's testimony will be him and those children that God gave me.
Yes.
They are my testimony that I was who I said that God called me to be.
Right.
They will be my testimony that I had the grace of God. They will be my testimony about my fruit. They will say my mom lived out Galatians. She had the Spirit. He will say my wife was full of temperance, full of meekness, was long suffering, was patient. My husband will say my wife testifies of Corinthians. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not proud, it is not boastful. Come on, so he is my testimony. Those kids are my testimony. My big bonus kids, they are our testimony.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are our testimony that we lived our lives like the man Jesus. Yes. They're the testimonies.
And what was it? It was 2 weeks ago. We were sitting in BJ's, and we looked across the table at our 2 kids who live with us now, and we said, "Guys, before we start having fun and stuff, we'd like to ask you a serious question."
Oh, yeah.
And this was our question to them: do you think we spend too much time in church? Are we not spending enough time with you?
We need to hear it.
We want to know, because if you say we are, we're going to change.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need to know, because
I
don't need you growing up hating the church,
hating my God,
saying that my God took my father, the God took my father away. He took my mother away, or the church took my father, or the church, or I'll never step church in church. I'll still never step foot in the church again, because that's where my dad made us live.
Very much so.
I need to know. And so I have pictures. But I'll sit. It'll be right now. Watch this. As a whole family, in about 1 hour and a half, we'll be sitting on the couch watching Chosen. They wanted to watch it.
Yeah,
we're watching series together.
Right,
we go places together.
Yeah,
this is my first church.
Yeah,
very much so. Very much so.
I've pastored several churches, but my first church,
my ministry
that I pastored,
it's
still working.
Yeah,
it's still going.
Yeah. And I will
still
say,
going strong.
I will say that
you want to add some members?
No.
Okay.
He does not see fit.
Listen, that is not the will.
I will say that he has pastored us well. He has led us well. That when our children, even our big kids that are adults now, when they have questions about faith, they come to us. They have not. I think that's a testament. They have not rejected our God.
Yes,
they have not rejected our God, and they come to us about if they have questions about faith, if they have questions about just life, if they have questions about. Some of them are in courtships and marriages. They have questions about those things. Yeah. We praise the Lord that our marriage has been a testimony to them, that they will ask us questions or want to model their covenants after our covenant, which is a high compliment and testimony. Mm-hmm. And so we just, we love the Lord, George and I. We do. We try to live Christ-centered lives, but we're trying to get it right. We're trying to get it right, for sure. we're trying to get it right. We're trying to have a healthy marriage. We're trying to live our lives in a way that is pleasing to the Lord, live like the man Jesus.
Have a healthy church.
Have healthy children. We're trying to get it right. And we don't have all the answers. And like he said, sometimes we have to pause and ask our children, hey, is this working? Sometimes we have to pause and ask each other, have the seasons changed? Am I giving you what you need in this season? Because last season you needed this, and am I giving you what you need?
Yes.
Let's just keep it real. Are you getting enough sex? Are we
right?
No, we ask each other.
Yes.
We ask each other. We have those conversations, and
my answer is always no.
Listen,
Franklin
says someone asked a question.
More. I need more. Oh, I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
Look, Bishop.
Shondo.
Bishop got the spirit. Bishop.
Yes.
We're gonna log out.
I caught the Holy Ghost. I caught it.
Lift your hands.
I caught the Holy Ghost.
Lift your hands.
Well, we do ask. We don't guess. We have grown to the place that we're mature enough to just go ahead and ask. What do you need? Are you getting what you need?
Do I still please you?
Are you getting what you need from me?
Yeah.
And enough. Look.
Come on, are you getting what you need? Am I doing too much this? Am I not doing enough that? You know, my husband randomly will say, did I tell you I love you today? I need to hear it.
Come on.
Yes.
I need those words going in my ear, into my heart, and watering my soul.
Yes.
Now that is important.
Yeah.
That is important. So important. And I'll be very honest with you. We get to moving and going and doing, and sometimes we just didn't remember to do it. And sometimes I be saying to my wife, now what was I saying and doing? She said, you was gonna say you love me. That's what you was gonna say.
Or get so busy. For us, get so busy that we're like, did we? It's been like 2 days. Give me a kiss.
Right.
Just give me a kiss.
Right.
Like,
Did we hug each other?
My husband is like, no, put everything down, open both your arms, because I'm on my way out the door.
Yep.
Your arms.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold me right
Hold
now.
me tight.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. So just and that affection, it releases dopamine.
Yes, it does.
You could be not smiling because you need a little dopamine release.
Right.
So
that's the truth.
Those things are just look up the therapy of hugging. It's really important, and to have a covenant hug here. So just in short, it is so important to cultivate and water the garden of your family, of your relationship. It is so important, because one day, let's just keep it real. The garden of ministry, even if it doesn't dry up, it's going to change. It's going to change. It's going to change.
It's going to change.
When the Lord shifts us and changes us, I don't want to be sitting in a rocking chair looking at a man that I don't know, that I have not watered.
Yes.
That I've laid with, that I've had children with, that I've built some success with, but I don't know that man.
Yes.
Now,
one of the things
I know this man.
One of the things we always say, and we say it to our children, and we say it in front of the church often, and the saying is, we refuse to sacrifice our families on the altars of the church. We're just not going to do it.
We don't have, and we were never called to.
Not going to do it.
We were never called to do that, and that is that is honestly one of the saddest things is he never required it of us. We did in generations past, but it was never required.
It sounded good, but it was wrong. It sounded good. You take care of God's business and God will take care of yours. It sounded good, but it was wrong. It ended in a lot of divorces. It ended in a lot of kids being tossed to the side. It was never God's will. The church starts in Acts. The family starts in Genesis. That is where we put our emphasis, and it's what we preach and teach, and we give the church time to act it out. So we're not going to have service every single night.
And
we like when sometimes Bishop, my husband wants to take me to the movies.
Well, you off the fast then.
Well, then you off the go.
Go.
Hurry up, girl. Andale.
We're on a 40-day consecration, and one of the beautiful, hardworking women of God, she, her husband is coming into the faith, but not, not all the way there yet. She says, so does this mean, I said, no, that's not what that means.
That's not.
That means,
Stop me, girl.
You off the fast.
Yeah.
Right.
You excused.
Yes.
You're
expeditiously.
That means whenever you get that done, you're not consecrating.
Girl, go win him the prize. Go win. Go soul winning.
You're not on that.
I don't need him coming to church looking at me funny.
Right.
Thinking that I deprived him of. No.
Yes.
That is your husband.
It was
and
never
don't go home. Don't go home always talking about
what I said.
My bishop said.
That's right.
My bishop said. Shut up.
Man of that house.
That's right.
Whatever he telling you to do.
That's right.
That's what you're doing.
Within the guidelines of legalism, do whatever he's telling you to do, and pray for him.
Yes.
That's what you do. I'm not the man of that house.
The abundant life includes a healthy family. This was never, Christ's intention was never to weaken our families. That's not what it's for.
Right.
We have done it by misappropriating principles. That is not what it was for. We can walk this walk and have healthy families.
Absolutely.
Talk. Now that's the God's honest truth.
We can walk this way and
one thing about us, we're going to vacate. The kids going on vacation. We going on vacation. They see us date.
Right.
It's to the point now that because the kids are growing up, they're at an age now. We do mommy-daughter dates. We do dad and son hangouts.
Yeah, same.
We out of here because I have a responsibility to God.
That's right.
I have a responsibility. When we were just sitting here, I think after Christmas, and we just looked around and said, "It's ours."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
And God is expanding to be able to see, the kids in whatever state they're in, or to see them growing and maturing and to coming into their own. It's like, wow.
Yeah, we know that feeling too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so with that being said, I totally honor you guys. We honor you guys. We love you.
Likewise.
We appreciate who you are to the body and who you are to us. We couldn't have had a better conversation right here in this toolbox. So we're getting ready to head on out. But let me ask y'all a question, because we're talking about the marriage toolbox. Lady, if you can just on the spot, tell me, what's a tool that you keep in your toolbox that you're ready to use at all times?
Compassion.
Bishop?
Empathy.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Compassion and empathy. That's amazing. Well, Word Laws, thank y'all for joining. Lizzie and
Mike
in the toolbox. Hey guys, let me get your attention. I want you to most definitely, if this toolbox conversation has been a blessing to you, I want you to inbox us. If the Word Laws have been a blessing to you, go ahead and send us an email, messages, send a text. However, you guys know how to get a hold of us, because we want to share with them how much you have been a blessing to them. Now, listen here. We want you guys to come back, because next week, baby, it is going to be a show that is going to revolutionize how you do relationships. I'm excited. You excited? Listen, I'm not going to even tell y'all who's coming to the toolbox. You just got to show up right here, 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. Believe Radio. And until then, I holla. We holla.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey friends, extra, read all about it. Mike and Lizzie in the Marriage Toolbox is about to partner with Lovers for Life as they present their After 5 banquet entitled The Love Language. We are so excited to join Lady Renee Allen and Superintendent Rodney Allen for this extravaganza. You don't want to miss this banquet dining experience. Listen, it's Saturday, May 4th from 5 to 9 p.m. p.m. at the Dan Foley Cultural Center, 1499 North Camino Alto in Vallejo, California. Go on and do me a favor. Click on the information on this flyer. Get your tickets. They're going fast. Call them or text them 707-820-7601. Tell them Mike and Lizzie told you to knock on their door because you want to come in. We'll see you there. Bye-bye. Hey, our favorite couples. Guess what? Mike and Lizzie right here at the Marriage Toolbox. We feel like giving away a gift. How about we gift you with the photo shoot with Studio 237? Do us a favor. Share with us your love story. By April 26th, you may be selected for this gift.
Couple things. So therapy, and I think when couples are really trying to restore and reconcile in some areas of their life, one of the challenges is you're trying to find the romance in your marriage. And sometimes you can't find romance until you find friendship. Mm-hmm. So therapy and really leaning in on developing that friendship again, becoming best friends again, that leads to a deeper level of transparency and vulnerability, which now we can get to some romance. So therapy, friendship, romance, in that order.